Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is my weekly entertainment wrap-up for July 16th through 22nd. This week I read 2 books, I watched 2 TV shows, I watched 1 movie, and I listened to 1 book. My first book this week, and my 100th book for the year, is Queer There and Everywhere, 23 People Who Changed the World by Sarah Prager. This YA focus collection caught my eye on a list of books that had recently been ordered by my library, so I put it on holds and waited for it to come in. This is exactly what it sounds like, 23 stories of queer people throughout history. It included drawings of each highlighted person, a TLDR, a description of their life, and a few pages about what makes them memorable. This felt like a collection that was meant to give you a quick burst of information about the person in hopes that you would do your own research on anyone that you found particularly interesting. The fun fact from this book that I've been telling people all week is that the high five wasn't invented until October 2nd, 1977, and was co-invented by one of the people in this book. Second, I finished Duels and Deception by Cindy Anstey. This is a historical fiction YA novel set in England. It follows Lydia Whitfield as she tries to run her estate, but her guardian uncle is a bit of a knob. When her lawyer's clerk, Robert Newton, arrives to try to help with matters, she finds him very attractive, and they fall into a friendship. Too bad she's meant to marry a man who needs her money in exchange for his title, as her late father wanted. Robert's also got to deal with getting his best friend out of a duel. There are twists and turns along the way, and considering I picked up this book just based solely on the cover, I was pleasantly surprised. It was a cute bit of fluff filled with manners and assertive characters, and I would recommend it if you like the idea of classics but want easier to parse witty dialogue, as the characters in this book used words beautifully. This week, in Too Many Characters Dying, I watched The Walking Dead Season 6, Episodes 1 through 9. That's really all I can say at this point. Too many people have died, but we finally did hear about the character I've been waiting for, although we haven't seen him yet. I seriously mentioned being excited for Jeffrey Dean Morgan to be in this show back when I was watching the 4th or 5th season, but since I don't want to spoil myself in regards to anything in the show, I didn't actually look up when this character came into the plot. I just saw him on a poster when I was looking up images for one of these videos, and have been waiting semi-patiently ever since. From what I can tell, he's not going to be a very nice guy. This week I also finished the 2nd season of Downton Abbey, which finished much more happily than the 1st. The location is stunning, and I'm told that people still live there, which must be an elegant experience. It is also open for rental if the internet is to be believed, so if you have a large sum of cash sitting around, please invite me to come with you. This week I also watched To the Bone, which is a Netflix original movie starring Keanu Reeves and Lily Collins, which centers around characters with eating disorders. I hadn't heard of it before it was switched on, but the person I was watching it with said that she had heard grumblings that it glorified eating disorders. I, to the best of my knowledge, do not have an eating disorder, so take my opinion with as much importance as you see fit. I don't think this glorified eating disorders. This brought aspects of it to the forefront and gave me a glimpse into a world that I'm not part of, but in no way made me want to take up any of the ill-advised activities of the relapsed characters. Talking about something openly is not the same thing as glorifying it. If anything, it made me want to take better care of my body and caused me to have another serving of dinner. That being said, I imagine it would be triggering for those who do live with an eating disorder. I'm glad it didn't ultimately become a love story, as it was threatening to do. It made me uncomfortable, as I'm sure it was meant to, and it started a dialogue, which I also feel must have been one of the goals. Kathy from editing here. One thing I failed to mention while I was filming the video properly is that it does use the R word twice near the beginning of the film, and this infuriated me considering it is a film essentially about mental health, and you are using an ableist slur twice in 2017. No. This week I listened to The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. This book takes place in your average small town where weird shit happens. Think Sunnydale in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or any small town that has zombies, ghosts, schools, goblins, vampires, werewolves, and whatnot. Here there's a group of people called the Indie Kids, and they're often called upon to be the chosen one in some world-saving maneuver or another. But this book isn't about them. It's about a group of friends who live in the same town and just want to get through graduation without one of the Indie Kids blowing up the school. Our protagonist Mike is protective of his older sister Mel, who will be graduating the same year as him because she died for 3 minutes, and he never wants to see that happen again. Mike's best friend and sometimes fooling around buddy Jared is 3 parts Jewish and 1 part God, as in his maternal grandmother is the god of cats. And Henna, well, Mike has been in love with Henna for years and hasn't been able to tell her, and now he only has 5 weeks left until graduation, and all of this is getting him caught in loops. Mike has OCD and he gets caught counting or tapping or washing his hands, but he tries to hide it as best he can. His parents aren't particularly great at being parents, parents, and he fears that his political mother will just make his OCD all about how it will impact her next campaign trail. This is my first Patrick Ness read, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the style of the writing, the concept was a great twist on a familiar genre, and I really cared about the characters and their struggles. That's it for this week. If you've read, watched, or listened to any of these, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down in the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you next time. Bye!